Right. Good afternoon to everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the concept of Kelvin's double bridge. So before going into the discussion of Kelvin's double bridge, we have to see in the evolving issue with respect to Kelvin's double bridge. First, we will discuss about Kelvin's bridge. Okay. So what we will review the things which we discussed in the earlier classes. So in earlier class we discussed about the measurement of resistance. That means how the what is meant by resistance. We all are very familiar that resistance is nothing but a property which opposes the flow of current. Okay. So three type of resistance can be observed. One is a low resistance, and second one is a medium resistance, and the third one is high resistance. Okay. So how can we measure the concepts involved? Means low resistance is measured with respect to Kelvin's double bridge. So what the low resistance in the sense which is less than 1 ohm. The measurement of resistance which is less than 1 ohm is observed with respect to the concept Kelvin's double bridge. And the second classification is measurement of medium resistance. Measurement of medium resistance up to a range from 1 ohm to 100 kilo ohm. So there are various methods involved like ammeter, voltmeter method, Wheatstone bridge, substitution method, Carey-Foster bridge, and ohmmeter method. So upon all these things, Wheatstone bridge is quite accurate in measuring minimum resistance or medium resistance. So measurement of high resistance. Measurement of high resistance is done with respect to loss of charge method, Megger, and mega ohm bridge and direct deflection method. So upon all these things, loss of charge method is Megger is quite prescribed and which we discussed in our syllabus. So in our syllabus point of view, here in this entire classification of measuring methods, we will discuss about Kelvin's double bridge method for measuring low resistance. We already discussed about Wheatstone bridge in measuring of minimum resistance or medium resistance at a particular range of 1 ohm to 100 kilo ohm or 0.1 mega ohm. And measurement of high resistance is discussed with respect to two methods which we are about to discuss in coming classes. That is loss of charge method, or we can also discuss with respect to Megger. Okay. So in today's class, we will discuss about Kelvin's bridge. Before going into Kelvin's double bridge, we are familiar with Kelvin's bridge, which we gone through some of the mathematical analysis with the previous class. I just updated the presentation with some of the queries asked by you. So just going through the discussion. If you have any doubts further, just let me know in the chat box. So Kelvin's bridge. Most of you people are very familiar with the introduction. The main objective of Kelvin's bridge is to measure unknown resistance at a particular range of 1 ohm, which is less than 1 ohm. How can we, this is a certain thing, this is a modification of Wheatstone bridge. Why it is a modification of Wheatstone bridge means, other than Wheatstone bridge will measure up to a range from 1 ohm to 100 kilo ohm, that is 0.1 mega ohm. So that is the range Wheatstone bridge will measure. So that means Wheatstone bridge can't measure the resistance which is less than 1 ohm. That is very less resistance. In order to measure that, we have to modify the Wheatstone bridge, and we have to modify the Wheatstone bridge. The modified Wheatstone bridge is nothing but Kelvin's bridge. Okay, modified Wheatstone bridge is nothing but Kelvin's bridge. So here, how can we design the Kelvin's bridge? So this is nothing but the modified Wheatstone bridge. Kelvin's bridge is nothing but modified Wheatstone bridge. At this particular instant, we are familiar with the Wheatstone bridge, which is having 4 arms, 4 resistance branches, which are formed in the form of a bridge or in the form of a ring. So this is one resistance. This is one resistance branch. This is one resistance branch P, and the current is flowing with respect to the resistance branch. And this is one resistance branch Q, and this is one resistance branch R. Then this is one resistance branch S. So this is the actual existed Wheatstone bridge. In addition to that, what we did means we modified the Wheatstone bridge and we connected a resistance strip. So this is the resistance strip which we are talking about. The resistance strip is connected in between the points of M and N. Points of M and N, and the total resistance of this particular strip is nothing but small r. Total resistance is small r. Okay, so the resistance strip is connected in between the points M and N. Okay, so what will happen means, if this particular galvanometer, okay, this particular galvanometer is connected with this particular M point, this entire resistance small r is added with respect to the standard resistance S. Okay, P and Q is nothing but ratio arms, S is nothing but standard resistance, and capital R is nothing but the unknown resistance which we are familiar with. Okay, if the galvanometer is connected at M point, entire resistance segment is added with respect to S. Okay, if the galvanometer is connected at N point, entire resistance is added with respect to unknown resistance capital R. In order to eliminate that, we have connected a center point, that is small d. Here we connected the resistance, and the area of resistance is split with respect to R1 and R2. R2 resistance is connected with respect to standard resistance S, and R1 resistance is connected with respect to R1 resistance is connected with respect to capital R. Okay, that is what about the construction of Kelvin's bridge, which is a modified Wheatstone bridge. If we do the numerical analysis, just I am once again saying, just solve along with me. It will be simple. Otherwise, the things will be too much complex. Just go along with me. Okay. So this is a Wheatstone bridge which we are discussing about. It's visible. Rotate your phone in this particular vertical manner such that it will be visible. Sorry, horizontal manner, it will be visible. So this is the modified Wheatstone bridge which we have gone through. Okay, so this R is nothing but our one second. This R is nothing but our unknown resistance. This R is nothing but our unknown resistance, and P and Q is nothing but ratio ohms. Okay, P and Q are nothing but ratio ohms, and R is the unknown resistance, and S is the standard resistance connected, and H and K. See, this is H2K is nothing but resistance lead or resistance conductor. In some of the textbooks, he will call that as a resistance lead. In some of the textbook, he will call that as a resistance conductor. H2K is nothing but a resistance conductor which is connected here. Okay, so how the galvanometer is connected? The galvanometer is connected at D point. And the resistance from H2K is represented with respect to small r1, and resistance from D2K is represented with respect to small r2. So combined together, the resistance is represented as R1 and R2. Okay, so let us see the bridge is at balanced condition. We keep on saying this term. In a Wheatstone bridge also we got this discussion. In a Kelvin's bridge also we're getting this discussion. We are saying the bridge is in a balanced condition. How can we say the bridge is in a balanced condition? The bridge is in a balanced condition when the current flowing through this entire four arms are equal. And another discussion is the voltage drop from A to B. Okay, the voltage drop from A to B is equal to the voltage drop from A to D, and voltage drop from B to C is equal to the voltage drop from C to D. Okay, if these voltage drops are equal, if the current flowing segment is equal, at that condition the bridge is in a balanced condition. If we analyze the term with respect to when the voltage drop from A to B, okay, when voltage drop from A to B is equal to the voltage drop from A to D at this segment, voltage drop from A to B is equal to the voltage drop from A to D. What will happen? Let us see the currents, that is I1 into P. Current, that voltage drop across A to B, that is I1 into P, that is equal to voltage drop across A to D, that is I2 is the current flowing in the segment A to D. See here, I2 is the current flowing in the segment A to D, and the total resistance flowing, that is I2 into, okay, what is the total resistance flowing? Total resistance is I2 into total voltage drop, that is I2 into R plus R1. Okay, I2 into R plus R1. This is the term here. Okay, so this is the voltage drop across A to D, that is capital I2 into resistance added. What is the resistance? Capital R is the unknown resistance, and other resistance added with respect to the strip, that is small r1. Okay, so this is the voltage drop across one segment. If we see the voltage drop across another segment, that means voltage drop across B to C, that is I1 into Q, voltage drop across another segment, that is I1 into Q, that is equal to voltage drop across C2D. That is voltage drop. What is the voltage drop across C2D or voltage drop across D2C? I2 into S plus R2. Okay, solve along with me, students. Please solve along with me in your running notes. Just don't simply stare at your mobile screen or at your laptop screen. Solve along with me. It will be simple. Otherwise, things will be so much complex. Okay, solve along with me. So we have calculated voltage drop across A to B is equal to voltage drop across A to D at the first equation, and voltage drop across B to C, that is I1 into Q. I1 is the current flowing at the segment B to C. That is what will be the voltage drop? V is equal to IR, I1 into Q. Okay. So, and the voltage drop across C to D or D to C, that is S plus R2 is nothing but the resistance. S plus R2 is nothing but the resistance. With respect to that, what is the voltage drop? I2 is the current flowing with respect to the segment D to C. I2 into S plus R2. Okay. So this is about equation. This is called with respect to the term equation 2. So from equation 1 and equation 2, if we divide equation 1 with respect to equation 2, what will be the LHS? I1 into P divided by I1 into Q, that is equal to I2 into R plus R1 divided by I2 into S plus R2. Okay, what will be the cancellation terms here? I1 will get cancelled, I2 will get cancelled. What will be the expression? Expression will be P plus Q, that is equal to P by Q, that is equal to R plus R plus capital R plus small r1 divided by capital S plus small r2. Okay, so this is the new expression that is written as equation number 3. So if we consider this entire equation in the form of a ratio arm, what is meant by, what are the ratio arms? Ratio arms are capital P and capital Q are ratio arm. Capital R is nothing but unknown resistance, and capital S is nothing but known resistance, that is standard resistance. Addition to that, we have two another resistances, that is small r1 and small r2. If we assume that small r1 and small r2 as ratio arms, existed ratio arm is P by Q, that is equal to the new ratio arms, that is R1, small r1 divided by small r2. Small r1 divided by small r2, that is r1 divided by r2, that is equal to P by Q. P by Q. Okay. If I add the terms r1 divided by r2 plus 1, r1 divided by r2 plus 1, and P by Q plus 1. Okay. Okay, I have added LHS side with respect to plus 1 and RHS side with respect to plus 1. And if we see the numerator denominator, that is R1 divided by R1 plus R2, that is equal to P by Q, and R2 divided by R2 plus R1, that is equal to Q by Q plus P. Okay, so most of we are very familiar that small r is R1 plus R2 is equal to capital R. So if we substitute the value of R1 plus R2 is equal to capital R here, this is the new expression. That is small r1 divided by small r, that is equal to P by P plus Q. Small r2 divided by small r, that is equal to Q by Q plus Q. Okay. So if we rewrite in the form of R1 and R2, okay, we will cross multiply this term into here. Okay. So this division will go to the right hand side. That will be a multiplication. That is, okay, small r1, that is equal to small r into P plus Q, and small r2, that is equal to small r into Q by P plus Q. Okay. So what will be the new ratio arm? P by Q is equal to R1 divided by R2. P by Q is equal to R1 divided by R2. From this term, P by Q is equal to R1 divided by R2. From this expression, what will be the term? P by Q is equal to R1 divided by R2. If we divide this term, P by Q is equal to R1 divided by R2, if we substitute this expression, okay. So if we simplify this thing, P by Q into taking this denominator into the LHS side, that is P by Q into S plus R of Q by Q plus P, that is equal to R plus R of P by P plus Q. this numerator will be in the left hand side, and then this denominator will go to the right hand side in the form of a multiplication. If we simplify this thing, that is P by Q into S plus if we P by Q into S plus PR divided by P plus Q, that is equal to R plus PR divided by P plus Q. If we simplify this expression, okay, and this term will get cancelled. What will be the remaining terms? That is P by Q into S, that is equal to capital R. So this is how we have finded the unknown resistance. We have finded the unknown resistance with the help of an resistance lead, small r1 and small r2. Is it clear? ఇది అర్థమైందండి? So this is about the discussion new updated circuit, that is Kelvin's double bridge. See, compare this thing with respect to the Kelvin's bridge which we discussed earlier. So this is the common traditional Kelvin's bridge which is modified from the Wheatstone bridge, which is Kelvin's bridge is nothing but a modified Wheatstone bridge. We are very familiar with that. So next we modified that further. Okay, in additional what we did means we connected an outer ratio arm. See, this is the outer ratio arm. Let me annotate. So this is the outer ratio arm. This entire thing is the outer ratio arm, and this is the inner ratio arm. This is the inner ratio arm. Okay, and this capital R is nothing but unknown resistance, and this S is nothing but a standard resistance, and this is our resistance segment. Okay, previous presentation undi kadamma resistance segment undi kadandi. So this is our resistance segment. This is our resistance segment. So if we observe the Kelvin's double bridge in our construction point of view, if we see the construction of Kelvin's double bridge very clearly, one second. So if we see the construction of this particular Kelvin's double bridge, okay, so we have said we constructed an outer arm. So this is our outer arm, which is represented with respect to the resistances capital P and capital Q, and this is where the galvanometer is connected. The galvanometer is connected at this particular points. Okay, so and R is nothing but a unknown resistance, and S is the standard resistance in the order of magnitude. Okay, and small r is nothing but a resistance, low resistance link. Low resistance link is connected in between the capital R and capital S. Okay, and capital P and capital Q and small p and small q are non-inductive resistances. Non-inductive resistances. Okay, the galvanometer is connected between the capital P and capital Q bridge and small p q bridges. Okay, the resistance arm is constructed in a particular manner. The resistance is capital P, capital Q, capital R, capital S, and small p and small q, and entire together forms a double bridge. Okay, and it is energized with the help of a battery source. It is energized with the help of a battery source, and current is supplied with respect to the battery source with the help of a variable rheostat, and an ammeter is connected here to observe the amount of current flow. This is about the construction of Kelvin's bridge, Kelvin's double bridge. So if we go through the analysis, the ratio arms, what are the ratio arms? Capital P and capital Q are ratio arms. Okay, small p and small q are ratio arms. Okay, so both are equal. That means here the current passing through the segments capital P and capital Q, P by Q, that means same amount of current is also flowing through the elements here. Okay, so when, at what condition the bridge is balanced? At what particular instant the bridge is balanced means if the same amount of current is flowing through this particular double bridge. See, in this particular double bridge, if same amount of current is flowing, P by Q, this outer double bridge outer arm, capital P divided by capital Q, if this current is flowing through this arm, is equal to the current is flowing through the P by Q. If the current is flowing through this arm, that is equal to current flowing through the unknown resistance and known resistance. So what will be the expression? The expression will be capital R is equal to P by Q into S. Most of us, we are familiar with this expression. We got this resistance, unknown resistance, unknown resistance, the expression in Wheatstone bridge calculation, in Kelvin's bridge calculation. But we have to see how this type of discussion which we can go through means how we can analyze this type of discussion. Okay, so first to see this delta, the delta which is present inside. See, this is the delta. One second, I will clear all drawings. So this is the delta which is present inside. This is the delta which is present inside. The delta contains three arms. The delta contains three arms. Small r, that is P. Sorry, small p. Small. This is resistance small p, and this is the resistance small q. And here also we are having certain amount of resistance, right? This is the resistance segment. This is the resistance segment, low resistance segment, which is connected in between unknown resistance and standard resistance. So if we convert this delta into star, what will happen? If we convert this delta into star, what will happen? See, I have converted this delta into star. With our knowledge of electrical circuit analysis, I converted this delta into star. Okay, what will happen? The value of resistance capital A is equal to P into Q. This P into Q divided by P plus Q plus R, total resistance. Value of resistance capital B, small b, that is equal to P into R divided by P plus Q plus R. The value of resistance small c, that is equal to Q into R divided by P plus Q plus R. That means I have converted the Kelvin's double bridge inner delta into a star connection. If we discuss further, and I rewrite the delta in rewrited that expression, the circuit into this. So ఈ డెల్టా కనెక్షన్ నేను ఏం చేస్తానండి, ఈ డెల్టా కనెక్షన్ నేను స్టార్లో కన్వర్ట్ చేశానండి. స్టార్లో కన్వర్ట్ చేసి సర్క్యూట్ని రీడ్రా చేశాను. చూడండి, ఇన్సైడ్ ఉండే డెల్టా కనెక్షన్ని, ఇక్కడ ఇన్సైడ్ ఉండే డెల్టా కనెక్షన్ని నేను ఏం చేశానండి, ఇక్కడ ఒక డెల్టా ఉండింది కదండి, ఈ డెల్టాని నేను ఏం చేశానండి, స్టార్ చేసేసానండి. దిస్ ఈస్ ద డెల్టా, దిస్ ఈస్ ద రెసిస్టెన్స్ వీ గాట్ స్మాల్ p, and this is the resistance where you get small q, and this is where we got low resistance small r. ఈ డెల్టాని నేను స్టార్లో కన్వర్ట్ చేశానండి. స్టార్లో కన్వర్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత if I do a mesh analysis for this thing, I am considering this as a balanced network. How we can say this is a balanced network? If the current flowing through the segment is entirely equal, that means I1 is the current flowing from M to N. Okay, I1 is the current flowing from N to G. Okay, I2 is the current flowing from M to H. Okay, and I2 is the current flowing from H to G. If this entire current is equal, if we observe the mesh analysis with respect to the voltage drop, what will be the voltage drop across M to N? Voltage drop across M to N, that is equal to I1 is the current flowing through the segment M to N, that is, and the resistance is P. Voltage drop V from the Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. This is the voltage drop expression with respect to Ohm's law. V is equal to IR, that is equal to I1 into the resistance P. Okay, what is the voltage drop from M to H? Voltage drop from M to H. M to H is having two resistances. One is unknown resistance capital R. Okay, solve along with me, students. Please solve along with me in your running notes. Okay, resistance current voltage drop across the segment M to H, that is resistance is capital R, unknown resistance is capital R, and the low resistance is small b. Okay, what will be the voltage drop here? I2 is the current flowing, I2 into capital R plus capital B. So this is where we have seen the voltage drop at this particular segment. If we observe the voltage drop for another segment, if we observe the voltage drop for this segment, okay, So what is the voltage drop from N to G? Here at the branch N to G, the resistance is Q and current flowing is I1. What will be the voltage drop? I1 into Q. Okay. And the voltage drop from H to G. What is the voltage drop from H to G? That is I2 into S plus C. I2 into S plus C, where the resistance is standard resistance capital S and the low resistance is C. Both are connected in series. I added S plus C and the current flowing is I2. The voltage drop is I2 into S plus C. This is the equation 1 and this is the equation 2. Divide equation 1 with respect to equation 2. What will happen? If we divide equation 1 with respect to equation 2, this I1 and this I1 will get cancelled. This I2 and this I2 will get cancelled after division. What will be the terms remain? P by Q, that is equal to capital R plus B divided by S plus C. Okay, what will be the value of capital R? Capital R unknown resistance, that is equal to P by P plus Q into S plus C minus B. That is the equation number 3. That is the equation number 3. Okay, that is the equation number 3. Okay, so if we simplify this expression further, what is the value of B? What is the value of B? From our previous discussion, of converting delta into star, what is the value of B? B is equal to, what is the value of B? B is equal to P into R divided by P plus Q plus R. If I substitute that in this expression, if I substitute that in this expression, what will be the value? R, what will be the expression? Okay, I substituted the value of B and I also substituted the value of C also. Okay, what will be the expression? R is equal to P by Q into S plus Q into R divided by P plus Q plus R minus P into R divided by P plus Q plus R. Okay, if we simplify this expression, multiply this expression with P by Q. P by Q into S plus P by Q into QR divided by P plus Q plus R minus PR divided by P plus Q plus R. If we simplify this entire expression, that is P by Q into S, if we P by Q into S plus QR into P by Q into S plus QR divided by P plus Q plus R. Okay, so here P plus Q plus R is common in the same expressions. That's why I have taken the common thing, QR divided by P plus Q into P by Q minus P by Q, capital P by Q minus capital P by Q. Okay, so here capital P by Q and small p by Q are secondary terms. That way, if we neglect these secondary terms, what will be the final expression? The final expression will be capital R is equal to P by Q into S. Capital R is equal to P by Q into S. So this is the expression we got. So that is about the calculation of unknown resistance with the help of Kelvin's double bridge. If we see the discussion, so with respect to the above discussion which we have seen here, the Kelvin's bridge, the equation which we calculated is free from the impact of leading resistance. The leading resistance which we connected in between capital R and capital S, the calculated unknown resistance expression is free from the lead resistance which is connected between capital R and capital S. This is one of the important thing we got. And in order to obtain that appropriate result, we balanced the ratio arm. By converting that ratio arm into the ratio arm delta connection into star connection. Okay, and there are various things. So we have seen the voltage drop expression and all. So, but if we see there are certain limitations with respect to the Kelvin's bridge. What are the important limitations with respect to the Kelvin's bridge? Means sensitivity of galvanometer. The galvanometer is quite sensitive in determining the balanced condition. During the observation of the voltage drops and during the calculation of balanced condition, The galvanometer is quite sensitive. That is one of the important issue. And second thing is measurement of current. For measurement of current, we need a proper good sensitive galvanometer. So these are the two elements. These are the two elements which we have gone through. So that is up to the today's session. So in today's class, what we did means we have discussed the concept of Kelvin's bridge. We have discussed the concept of Kelvin's bridge. Kelvin's bridge is nothing but a modification of Wheatstone bridge. And next we have seen the numerical mathematical analysis with respect to the Kelvin's bridge in a systematic manner. And next we proposed the concept of Kelvin's double bridge. We proposed the concept of Kelvin's double bridge. And next we determined the unknown resistance value of Kelvin's double bridge. And we have seen the various limitations with respect to the Kelvin's double bridge in today's class. In next class, we will see the new concept.